Rainollon here. Today's another build showcase, and it's Sibear Incarnon slam build. So let us immediately start. So I'm going to spawn level 200 steel path for Cubital Group dudes, as you can see over there, and I'm going to slam a couple of times to show you the power and the damage it does. I'm also going to show you without any buffs or armor strips, so this is the raw damage only for the weapon itself. So I'm going to slam once. I'm not going to do a lot of damage because I need my Incarn transformation, I need my stacks, and I need some kills. So I'm going to slam the second time. As you can see here, I got Galvanized Reflect, Galvanized Steel. Slam again. As you can see bottom right, I have 5x all the time. Now I'm going to slam a couple of times this enemy here. Get 6x. Once you get 6x, do a heavy attack slam or heavy attack to turn this weapon from the base form to Incarn form. And now I'm going to do much more damage. And most of my crits are going to be orange, which is quite satisfying. Yet again, this is no buffs or armor strips, so the numbers that you see here will be completely different to you once you use a buffer or armor stripper or whatever. So right now, the weapon itself, satisfying seeing those numbers. Damage it does, pretty solid. It's satisfying to do heavy attack slams. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Time for me to show you the mods. So the mods I use in my Sibear Incarnon are Crushing Ruin. Crushing Ruin will just give me a lot of mod capacity. I'm never going to base your attacks, so this is completely useless except for the mod capacity. For the mods, Prime Pressure Point gives you melee damage, a lot of it. Seismic Wave, melee slam damage. Killing Blow, melee damage on heavy attacks. This does work on heavy attack slams. Organ Shatter, critical damage. Galvanized Reflect, 50% heavy attack efficiency, and on melee kill, plus 20 initial combo for 20 seconds, stacks up 4 times. So after 4 kills, you have 80 initial combo, which is 5x all the time, which is quite good for slam builds. Galvanized Steel, critical chance, 110%, but if you heavy attack slam, it's doubled, so it's 220%, which is quite nice. And on melee kill, plus 30% critical damage for 20 seconds, stacks up 4 times, so that's 120% critical damage, which is quite nice. And North Wind for increased damage, and that's also cold damage. And Blood Rush, 40% critical chance, stacks up the combo multiplier. Thanks to Galvanized Reflect, we have 5x all the time, so that's 160% critical chance, which is quite good. So those are the mods. For the Tennokai, I think the one that gives you critical damage, I will highly recommend. Everything else is up to you. I think the critical damage one is the best one. For the Arcane, melee exposure on ability cast, gain 60% corrosion damage on melee strikes for 25 seconds, stacks up all the way up to 240%. So you use a bunch of your abilities that you like, you get damage from it, and your slams will do more damage, and they will also do corrosion damage. So sometimes you're going to proc corrosion, which is going to help you, but not really. The whole existence for melee exposure is just to give you a lot more damage. So that's pretty much it here. For the passive, heavy attacks grants you plus 50% status chance for 4 seconds. This is a pretty solid passive, I will say. It's a pretty solid passive, and yeah, that's pretty much it here as well. For the stats, so this is the base stats for the base form. The attack speed and range are solid, but we're never going to use this weapon as a regular attacking. We're going to heavy attack slam, so it's kind of useless to us. The slam attack on the regular slam, which is jump into the air pressing E, will do like 9,000, which has 9,000 base damage, which is quite solid. Combo duration is 5 seconds, like every other melee weapon. Follow through is 40. This doesn't really matter on heavy attack slams. Riven Dispo is quite good. Critical chance, critical damage, increased damage is by far the best in slot, and I will remove North Wind for it. Critical chance is pretty solid. Crit multi is average. Stat chance is good. And the total damage is really good. So those are the base stats. But also, the most important one is the heavy attack slam. So the heavy attack slam, as you can see here, 19,000. That's quite high, and it's quite good. So those are the stats for the base form. Now let me show you the Incarn form. So the Incarn form has the exact same attack, speed, range. The slam, regular slam, is much higher. The combo duration, follow through, the exactly the same. Critical chance, critical damage, status chance are all the exactly the same. The total damage is much higher. But the most important one is the heavy attack slam, which is much higher by 5,000 more base damage, which is quite disgusting. And yeah, those are the stats for the base form and the incarnate form. For the passive, the mods, the arcane. Time for me to show you the evolutions. So, the first evolution, you reach 6x, and when you heavy attack or heavy attack slam, you will turn it from the base form to incarnate form, and your heavy attack slams will create a cold blast radius with heavy attack slams. So it's a not that good passive for this weapon, but it might help, I guess. But not only that, increase your melee damage by 100, which is very good. 50% heavy attack vinyl speed helps you if you use the heavy attacks, regular heavy attacks, not slams. 10% sprint speed and 10% parkour velocity, which is solid. So those are the stats for the evolution 1. For the evolution 2, increase your base damage by 20 with armor over 450. Not a lot of Warframes can get this, but if you are using a Warframe that has over 450 armor, you get another 40 base damage, which is quite nice. For the evolution 3, they are all kind of bad for this setup. So combo duration is not that useful, heavy attack vinyl speed is also not that useful, and the range is also not that useful on a heavy attack slam, so it doesn't really matter what you pick here. And for the evolution 4, 2 of them are really good. So the first one that I've chosen is the one that gives you increased base damage by 25%, which is quite good. Turns the weapon from a 15% base critical chance to 40 base critical chance, as you can see here. But there's another evolution that I also really like, and it's this one here. On enemy killing enemy with 3+ cold stacks, you get plus 50 initial combo for 10 seconds, stacks up 4 times. So this is 60 initial combo, plus Galvanized Reflect, which gives you 80. 60 and 80, that's 140 initial combo, which is 8x all the time, which is quite powerful. But the problem is, this is better in most scenarios because critting will multiply your damage with all of the multiply mods and ribbons you have, so you're going to see bigger numbers. But if you are using a Warframe that can like buff your melee to give it like critical chance, for example Colervo and Colervo's first ability, which is a helmet ability, which gives melee weapons a large amount of critical chance, I will highly recommend you use this one. This one is just going to give you a lot more power, which is quite nice. I think it's like 75% increase more damage, which is quite a lot. And yeah, it's a also really good evolution. So this one, if you have a really good critical chance Warframe, this one if you don't. So those are all the evolutions. Time for me to show you yet again in game. So yet again, no buffs or armor strip. I'm just going to spam my third ability to get melee exposure, which is that arcane. You can see on the top right, 120, there we go, 240% melee exposure, which gives me corrosion damage. I don't care about the corrosion damage, I care about the increased damage that mod gives me. So now, yet again, no buffs or armor strip, just going to go in, slam once, do a lot of damage, slam twice, maybe kill enemy, there we go, I killed a couple enemies, got my Galvanized Steel, and Galvanized Reflect, slam again, and as you can see my damage is much higher. Now I'm going to spawn yet again these dudes, hit them a couple of times to get my 6x, then heavy attack slam or heavy attack, transform it from the base form to incarnate form. And you can see there is some kind of cold field right here when you heavy attack slam, which will proc cold on enemies. Like I said, it's not that good, but I guess it can help. And yeah, that's pretty much Sibear, which is a pretty solid slammer. Like you can see constant orange crits, solid damage, and this is also without any buffs or armor strip. This is just the damage that only comes from the weapon itself. And now imagine you use a heavy buffer or a stripper. Yeah, you're going to do a lot more damage. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's Sibear Incarnon. I hope you enjoyed the build. Thank you everybody for watching. Leave a like, sub, and see you all next time. Thank you. Goodbye.